Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back and we're doing a best 2 out of 3 M21 draft. Alright, draft has fired. What do we got here? So immediately I'm looking at Shipwreck Dowser. I like this card a lot. I think it gives really good value. Getting instants and sorceries back. It's also got prowess. Pretty good body. Our rare is Teferi's Ageless Insight. I've kind of gotten trapped by this card a few times, so I don't really like it all that much. Rewind is playable, not great in limited, more of a constructed card. Ballhound is good for aggro. Ghostlight, good common with evasion. Capture Sphere, good blue removal. Those are all I'm looking at. Quite a few good blue cards in here. There could be an argument to take Bolthound because it's cheaper. It is really good. There's also less red to compete. There's a lot of good blue in here. Maybe it does make more sense to take the Bolthound. Less red to compete with in here. Cutting blue and then passing good blue cards might not be the best idea. We'll see on that. Alright, follow-up pick. Well, Sanctum of Stonefangs is looking like maybe the strongest card in here. Cultivate is very good. Lets you get some card advantage, play more high-end stuff. Ramp. There's Turret Ogre, which is okay. I think the two picks are either Sanctum of Stonefangs or Cultivate, and I'm okay taking this Sanctum. If we do end up Rakdos, the red and the black shrines would be really good together. Draining for 2 each turn and then being able to shock each turn is really good. So let's take the... I'm fine taking the shrine here. Not great synergy with Bolthound, but that's okay. Alright, pick 3. Well, if we do end up Rakdos, Sack, Hobble Fiend will be good. I think the best card in here is Grasp, so definitely a good pickup for us here. Other notable cards in here. Daybreak Charger, good for Boros aggro. Or any aggro deck. Any white deck is probably fine playing Charger. Capture Sphere. Like I said, good blue removal. But we'll take Grasp, I think, pretty easily here. Be happy enough about that. Alright. Pick now. We can take Magmut. Just a way to get some additional damage in without having to attack your opponent, which is nice. It's also a dog, which can be relevant in this format. Most powerful card is probably nothing exceptionally good in here, honestly. I'm fine picking up the Magmut. It's a solid 2-drop. It's the only red card left in here. I don't know if that's a bad sign necessarily, but it's a playable red card, so that could be a good sign. Gloomsower, good finisher for the right deck. Arcanist, good for any sort of spell-oriented blue deck. But let's just take the Magmut for now. Okay. Archfiend's Vessel is actually a fine card for Rakdos Sack because it's a sacrifice target that you can maybe bring back if you play Rise again. Otherwise, we have Witch's Cauldron, which is definitely a good card too for the sacrifice deck. Battle Rattle Shaman is playable. Archer is playable. I'm okay taking the Cauldron. It's just nice to have something. If they capture Sphere your dude, you can just sacrifice it, gain life, draw cards. So converting cards into card advantage. Also, if they have removal, you can, in response, sack it and do the same thing. I'm okay taking it here. If we do, in fact, end up black-red, we're going to be happy. I think we have it. So Swindler, more for the black-white life gain deck. There's a lot of white cards in here. Rise Again. Currently don't really have any good resurrection targets. If I had taken the 1-drop Lifelinker, that would be a good resurrection target, but I don't think Rakdos Sack typically has a lot of big targets that you would want to Rise Again. We could just take the Archer. It randomly kills X1s, but maybe we just want the Swindler. It's a 2-drop. No good red card in here. The best card is probably, I mean, it depends on what archetype you're playing. I could see Swindler maybe being one of the better cards in here. Read the Tides if you're in blue. I mean, it depends on the deck you're going for, I suppose. So Fetid Imp now is perfectly fine. Flyer with Death Touch. I'm fine taking it. There's also Crash Through, more of a spells-oriented card. Same with kind of Thrill of Possibility. Sanguine Indulgence can get you some good value, but it's more for the black-white deck. I'll take the Imp and see where it leads us. So red cards in here, which is a good sign. I'm okay taking the Cur. It's a good mana sink. Not great early, but very good late. If you can leave mana up, which we can. We have a few instant speed effects in here. It can be quite valuable, so I'll take it. Now we've got a good dog count going. Deathbloom Thallid is kind of exactly what our deck wants if we do end up in Rakdos Sack. It looks like we can. Capture Sphere wheeled, but there was quite a few powerful blue cards in this pack. I'm happy to take the Deathbloom Thallid here, though. It's good with the Cauldron. It's going to be good if we get Hobble Fiend or any other way to sacrifice for value. Village Rites. So there's a Short Sword, Blood Glutton, Morphor, black-white life gain. I'm okay taking Short Sword. I don't think I've even played it yet in the format. Could take the Burn Bright too. Maybe Burn Bright cutting red now is more, because I've played Burn Bright. I haven't played Short Sword. Burn Bright might be able to push through quite a bit of damage. Sure Strike is a combat trick. Currently we don't have much in terms of removal and tricks, so I'm happy to take it. Seems like putting it on Bolt Hound after attacks would be valuable. Unleash Fury I've played once. I don't really think this is the right deck for it. It's kind of cool with Igneous Cur if you can pump a couple times, but it's probably not even that great with that. So Gift is playable. It's not great, but if you have a lot of little tokeny stuff like with Thallid, I could see it being valuable. Then you're basically using half a card, 1.5 card maybe to beat something bigger. And Lifelink can just be, they're both two pretty valuable effects. We'll take the Dart. I would prefer to not play it. This is only pack 1 though, so I'm kind of happy where we're at. I'll take the Defiant Strike. Maybe not. Doesn't seem, I mean, I don't need either of these cards, so maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe if I end up with more Shrines, I'll be happy to have the dual hand. Sublime Epiphany is very strong, but I don't think that's the pick for us. We can take the Crypt Lurker. This is the right deck for it. It's a pretty unexciting first pick, but otherwise Sky Scanner is also good for this deck. It's a nice sacrifice target to a Cauldron. It flies. Good with the Bolt Hound. Otherwise, we could probably just take the Imp as well. It's tough to go wrong with Flying and Death Touch. We don't really have a great late game plan, but because they evade, you can get in with them too. So good offensively, defensively with evasion. Maybe we wield the Crypt Lurker. I'm probably okay with that. Probably a little bit too late to shift gears into blue, I think. Alright, Immolator is a fantastic pickup. Otherwise, there's Wizardry in here. Acolyte in white, which is really good. But we're very happy to take Immolator. It's a great card. You sacrifice it, so it works for the deck, sort of. I mean, we don't really have any sacrifice value right now. Like Havoc Jester or anything, but it's just a good card. A bear that can get bigger, kills things your opponents control. Really strong uncommon, I think. So Double Vision is a card I've been meaning to try out, but what do we have that actually works with it? So we can copy Gift. Grasp is actually a good one. Sure Strike, Burn Bright. Not enough where I really want it here over, say, like a Hobble Fiend. I mean, we definitely need some more actual sacrifice payoffs. Thallid is basically our only really good one right now. But I'm okay taking it here. Double Vision could be good enough. You know what? We're going to try it. If it doesn't work out, whatever. but I think it's interesting enough to try, as like a commenter pointed out. Now it just got rapidly better with another grasp. Probably cut the dart already. So we're taking grasp over another Magmut. Can take the shock now. Here's another the Arsonist is another sack payoff. I would like that, but I'm not going to take it over a shock, especially with the double vision. Indulgence does randomly have synergy with double vision, but we could take another Cur. Guess you can take Unleash Fury and then double again. But all of our guys are pretty low power. It is kind of cool that you can turn this into 12 power with Unleash Fury with double vision now. It's actually kind of interesting. We might just take the Destructive Tampering. It's a sideboard card. Randomly, you could main deck it and make it so their stuff can't block. Could be good. We're not looking that aggressive, though. I think I'll take it anyway for sideboard. So another Burn Bright, another Cauldron. Bad Deal is kind of cool, actually, with double vision. Each player loses 4 life. We draw 4, they discard 4. That's strong. But, and you can do it on a turn progression, right? Vision into Bad Deal. Otherwise, we take a Turret Ogre. We have no other 4-power creatures, so I'm not in love with this. It does have reach. Or we can take another Cauldron. I'll take the Bad Deal. This might be an actual situation with double vision where it possibly could make the cut. Getting the Red Sanctum is actually kind of really nice for us. We're not going to try the Sanctum of All deck here, but this is kind of what I was talking about. Having the black and the red one together is actually very nice. Plus, this kind of rewards us for playing more, like if we end up playing 17 lands, which I kind of want to do now, if we end up playing these top end cards, even though our curve is really low. Here, the only thing I see that's worth our while is probably Meteorite, but just because it burns. Could take the Jungle Hollow for a green splash. Doesn't seem likely we would splash, but if we pick up maybe a Sanctum in green, I could consider splashing for it now that we have 2. I guess Meteorite would fix for it too, but this doesn't cost a spot in the deck, which is nice. All blue. We're not going to take it. That ship has sailed. All right, getting the Hobble Fiend is nice. Could take the Backwater in case we get Blue Shrine, but I'll take the Hobble Fiend. We only have 8 creatures currently, so could definitely use some more, and it's kind of on theme with what we're doing. We'll pass those. We're not in those colors. Tormod's Crypt. Well, we already have a Dart we're not playing. I guess I can take a Crypt. I didn't even know Crypt was in here. I've never seen it. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Indulgence could be good. Unleash Fury, maybe too, but Devotee I like a lot. I like the Thallid. We did get the blue Sanctum here, but Devotee is looking really nice with our sacrifice especially. So let's take it. Mangara in here, which is cool, but yeah, I think this is a nice opportunity to get Devotee, sacrificing and then spitting out zombies. Maybe wheel another Red Sanctum. They actually are nice together because you can discard them. So playing multiple of the red and black is actually just fine with the red one. Or maybe at least be able to wheel the Bloodfell Caves. Either way, Devotee seems like a good pickup here. Salvo is a great card to get past to us. Very strong. Another reward for probably playing 17 lands, but being able to kill multiple things is very valuable. And otherwise, maybe a Steward we would play. Maybe. But definitely taking Salvo. Incinerator is kind of cool. We don't have a lot of ways to deal non-combat damage to our opponent. Basically, I have a Magma and a Shock. Sanctum is not damage, it's life loss. Immolator is, but it doesn't deal it to the opponent. I don't know if we want to... It is strong. And we're already probably playing 17 lands. I can consider it. Otherwise, Silver Smoke Ghoul is pretty nice. We don't really have a means to gain 3 life. We've got the Gift, which we're probably not even playing in the Cauldron. but it is a sacrifice creature. I'm actually going to take the Ghoul. We've kind of, I feel like we're kind of good on the top end already. Gadrak's good. Another Red Sanctum, Finishing Blow. I actually really like Gadrak, especially for sacrificing. It blocks well too. At this point, I don't think that we're aggro either. Could probably dump the gift. I don't think we're aggro, so there's going to be some cards we just don't need. How did I not mention Double Vision with Volcanic Salvo? That seems actually kind of ridiculous that you would even have that many targets, but it's a good late game plan, so let's take Gadrak here. Pestilent Haze, something to consider. Finishing Blow, how many creatures do we have to do? 12. Finishing Blow is going to be good with Double Vision. Gloomsower is like another big finisher we can do. Makes our Volcanic Salvo cost a lot less just on its own. But with no ramp, I don't love that. Warmonger is, I don't know how I missed that. It's like exactly what your deck... This is probably the biggest Rakdos sack payoff. But considering we only have one Thalids and no Arsonists, we are losing out on some value on that front. I would like to find more. Skyscanner is a good sacrifice target. I think we have to take it here. Carrion Grub, don't really have great support for it. Gadrak would be a pretty good one. But we'll take the scanner. We need some actual good creatures to sacrifice. We could do the Wizardry. Cage Zombie kind of fits in with our theme a little bit too. I probably just take Wizardry, seeing as they have prowess. We have quite a few non-creature spells. It doubles with Double Vision, and it's good sacrifice targets. So I can take it over another Tavern Swindler, which doesn't really fit on theme with what we're doing anyway. Kinetic Augur. How many instants and sorceries do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We may not be playing that one. 5, 6, 7, 8. That might be enough to just try and make it work. Not much in here, otherwise Crash Through, which I guess is like a divination with Double Vision, but we'll see if the Augur works. All right, we got the Caves and the Sanctum back. I don't know if we need the second Red Sanctum. It is cool, like I said, since it works with the first one, but we already are having to make cuts, so I probably take the Caves because it just fits. It works for us. I guess we can take the Steward. You can randomly sacrifice it to this, or to get rid of a card in your opponent's hand, or to the Cauldron, or the Hobble Fiend. Gives you some choices. I don't know if it makes the deck either. We got the Incinerator back. There's also Village Rites, but we didn't get as much sacrifice fodder as I would have liked. We could take Wizardry to kind of alleviate that. Or we just take the Incinerator as a big 6-drop. I don't know. We're kind of good on the top end. I'm going to take another Wizardry for synergy purposes. Maybe Incinerator's a lot better than I think it is. It is. I mean, it's pretty strong. It's just... we've got a lot of top end already. I don't need any of this. I'm actually going to take the Crash Through, I think. Sentinel, maybe. Mind Rot out of sideboard, I could see maybe. Plastic Steward. I don't know if they're going to make the deck. So we'll get rid of these for now. We are going to do the Double Vision. I think we've probably got enough things where I'm okay with that. So we have to make 7 cuts because I do think we're going to stick with the 17 land deck. 17 creatures, which is kind of a relief. 19 if you include Wizardry, which I will, because I think we're going to play the Augurs too. So Wizardry actually turned out to be pretty good in here. Sacrifice fodder for Warmonger. We've got a lot of prowess stuff. It works with Double Vision. Works with Augur. Works with Cauldron. Works with Hobble Fiend. So good synergies. Let's dump the Stewards. They do sacrifice, but they're probably just under snuff. Burn Bright is actually really good with Wizardry too. Turns them into 4/2s. I don't know if I like the Swindler. It's a 2-drop, but it's not quite doing enough. I could see maybe cutting the Cur because it's kind of a whatever card. So this is 15 creatures now with the wizardry, so we can cut some non-creatures. Sure Strike probably can go. Unfortunately, the shrines are kind of interfering with our plans, but I probably keep them. Could be the Cauldron. What are our other sack outlets? I mean, I'd rather probably sack with Warmonger. Would I rather do the Cauldron or the Hobble Fiend? I guess since Hobble Fiend can directly end the game, I like it a little bit more. I'm going to have to do an instant and sorcery count to make sure we can make this double vision work too. Plus, if we're running salvo, it's going to be important to have some actual power on the board. All right. We'll cut the Cauldron. How many instants and sorceries do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is enough. I could cut the bad deal. I just think it's probably pretty good with double vision, but I haven't played with it yet either. I'm kind of interested in seeing how it works. 7 is probably still acceptable with double vision, but I'd like to run 8. We can maybe cut our worst creature, which is probably could be like the Magma. I could see that. It brings us to 14 creatures, which is not great, but it's I'm okay with that. And then we run the Bloodfell Caves. And how's our colors looking here? 10 and 13. Okay. So we'll run an even split. All right. Not bad. It's not a bad looking deck. It's got some cool synergies. I'm hoping that they work out. We'll see if they do. But this is how we'll run it. So, all right. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. Okay, in round 1, we've got a good keep here. I suppose we'll still open with the red mana for shock. We're actually pretty color intensive, which I didn't mention or maybe realize during deck construction, but we've got a lot of double black, double red stuff. All right, opponent is opting. We'll start with a mountain here. Pass. All right, so I assume they're playing probably, is it spells would be my guess. But it was weird they played the land before playing the opt. So we can start with the Bolthound or the Warmonger. Visionary. Well, we found a nice shock target, I guess. I don't love shocking it because I got to draw a card off of it, but it's okay. So choices now, yeah, are the Warmonger versus the Bolthound. If we do Bolthound now, we guaranteed get in. Next turn, Wizardry, we could get in for 6. If we do Warmonger now, Bolthound next turn, we get in for 6 as well. But this lets you get damage in right away. We'd probably take our guaranteed damage. Get our guaranteed damage in. Bolthound is a nice card to play as like a surprise, but that's okay. Next turn we can kind of leave up Grasp as well as Wizardry. Alright, so we'll attack here. Alright. We're actually pretty fortunate our opponent's playing Capture Spheres, because those are kind of the ideal cards for I'm going to do the Wizardry at the end of their turn, but kind of the ideal cards for Rakdos Sack. Because then you just end up netting sacrifice value out of them. So we can grasp that. We're going to Wizardry for now, and then we've got a nice little turn ahead of us here. So we get to kill the Sage, play the Hobble Fiend, and sacrifice the Bolt Hound. We could also save the sacrifice for Warmonger, but I'm okay doing the Wizards too. So we'll sacrifice now. Immolator is actually quite nice. I can attack with everything. If they block the Hobble Fiend with Tyrannodon, I'm kind of okay sacrificing these to kill that and keep my Hobble Fiend. They might actually double block the Hobble Fiend, but then I'd only have to sacrifice one. So this is actually kind of nice for us. I can attack with everything here. Yeah, if they double block it, I only have to sacrifice one. This is fine value for me. I could have actually pre-played the Immolator, but this is just fine. Tapping out with Immolator is not the best idea for most decks, but they probably don't have a lot of spot removal, I imagine. Alright, no plays, which is good. We don't need to sacrifice because we're not really in any immediate danger here, so. Alright, well, the good news there is they did not get full value from their Sublime Epiphany, and that is a very, very strong limited card, so we're fortunate about that. Alright, so now they have a 5/7, which can be a bit of an issue, but we attack with everything they block there. They still take... Probably need to attack. Oh, Devotee too. What a fortunate card to draw here. So we don't need to sacrifice. They block the Warmonger. We'll make a 3/2. They can get their Epiphany back. So they have the infinite combo here. They're choosing opt because they don't have the mana to do both, but I think we're gonna have to be on the aggro plan here because their late game plan is quite good. So let's say we attack with everything now. They block our Devotee. They block probably Immolator. They take 3, 4, 5. They go to 1. I'm not in love with that. We probably just attack with an Imp plus a Wizard. And then play another Imp. I mean, that's It's still token, right? Yeah, it's any creature. So we'll play another imp and basically upgrade our token to a 3/2. What's their early game? They do have the Tyrannodon. They actually have some, they stay pretty busy early. Alright, so they kill our 2 tokens. One card left in hand. Scourge, okay. Well, that's fine. And we can actually sack our Immolator on our turn to make another 3/2 and get rid of their Scourge, so that seems pretty good to me too. I guess we might as well attack with it. Alright, so sack it, kill that. Okay. Thallid is actually really nice too. We can convert that to a couple zombies at some point. Alright. So they've got a good deck. Like I said, they have the infinite combo. It almost makes me want to crypt, but I think our better path is to just really try to aggro them down. So we're not going to mess around with the double vision plan. How do I feel about even salvo in this matchup? I mean, it's hard to cut a salvo, especially if you're bringing more creatures in. So maybe we cut the bad deal, even though it's actually kind of good against our opponent too. Gift actually looks good against the Megalodon. That's true. Mind Rot is kind of good against him too. But we want the Magma. We want probably a Swin. Actually, Cur I'd rather have. I'd rather have the Mana Sink. I kind of want to find a way to bring the Gift in. I could see cutting Salvo. I know it seems strange, but it could make more sense. You can't burn them with Sanctum either. It's really tough to cut a salvo. It would be hard pressed to do that. So 2 more creatures. Do I want to bring in more? Do I want to try the Gift to kill the Megalodon? I really don't have any other way to beat Megalodon. Fetid Imp. But they have to make it fly somehow for... I mean, it prevents them from attacking, I suppose. Maybe Gadrak's too slow. But... especially since we only have one other artifact. It just seems unlikely. We probably didn't even have 4 creatures die until the end of that game, so Gadrak might be too slow. We have 16 creatures currently. I could maybe see cutting Gadrak. We're trying to be aggressive here. So maybe we do the Gift as like a combat trick. We could maybe do the Swindler. Probably not, though. We still have the Burn Bright. Alright, I think I'm going to give this a try. This might be as aggressive as we can get. Like, I like the cute late game plan we have, but that might be better against aggro decks. I don't know if I want to be doing that against a deck with likely a better late game plan. With the Epiphany plus Dowser. This hand's good. Start with the Grasp. Sanctum is nice too. Alright, so now maybe we just do the Sanctum to get the clock going. We can do Magma as another means to burn them. If they get a 4-power creature, we can grasp it, hopefully. Like if they Hunter's Edge here. Capture Sphere is okay. Like I said, we have sack outlets, so it's not a huge deal. We did get a land, but we're probably looking at just playing Kerr here. So if they play the Sage, we're definitely grasping it. Yeah. So they can attack, we'll kill it, we can smash back. So we'll do that, drain them. Grasp this. And pump this. Get in there. How many actual... Just one currently for Augur, but we've got 2 more on the way. I'd probably play the Wizardry first. Maybe. Alright, so they're drawing 3. Salvo is actually looking pretty cool. So we can attack, but I want our salvo to be cheaper too. It's kind of cool that each time you pump this, it still makes this 2 cheaper. It's nice synergy, actually. For now, we probably just... I kind of like doing Augur, but we're not going to be discarding anything. Wizardry currently makes salvo the cheapest, so... I think we just pass. We're gonna Wizardry. And the Visionary, they're drawing a lot of cards. They've drawn 5 cards in the last 2 turns. That's pretty impressive, actually. Good hand rebuilding. Let's do the Wizardry. So on our turn, we can do the Shock. Can actually burn Bright, and that makes salvo cost way less. How much less? So 3, it's for power. So 3, 6, 9 plus 4, 13. So that's going to make this cost 2. So we do this plus kill the Pteranodons probably. I'd like to set up even better if I could, but we probably just do it now. And then get in for 13. I'm pretty surprised. I'm pretty surprised they didn't jump with the Visionary there. Well, I'm sure glad we didn't cut the salvo. Jeez. That was pretty important. Alright, so they did find the Megalodon. It's not going to be enough now. Because they have to block the Kerr, and then we just shock them and they're done. Augur is currently a 4/4, which is pretty nice. So it looks like our opponent is purposely timing out just to waste our time here. Alright, our opponent didn't block, so Can activate this. And we'll see you in round 2. Okay, round 2, we will play first. We can keep this. Probably do the sky scanner first. Well, guess we can do Gadrak now. So we can do the Thallid now, or we can do the scanner. I kind of like the Thallid here. I'm still happy enough trading half a Thallid for a Chorister. And I'm kind of okay maybe trading a Gadrak for a Chorister too. I don't know if I want to discard anything here, although I can discard the Burn Bright. That would be the only card I want to discard, I think. So we could do the Sky Scanner instead. But I want to make a land drop here. I mean, either way, this makes better use of mana. I think we'll do the Augur, and I'll discard the Burn Bright to maybe find the land here. Alright, so we did find a land, which is nice. Like, you know, obviously part of me wants that for Sanctum, but we need to be able to cast Grasp as well. So, let's see. +3/+3. We can double block and they can only kill one thing? Yeah, that's good enough for me. Fine trade in my book. So we've got the Sanctum. Let's do Sky Scanner first. I don't want to tap like that though, because I still can play the Sanctum. Although maybe they actually had it right. Maybe it is wiser to do it this way. We don't, because then we can leave up Grasp. Maybe we attack first too, actually. And then we'll play the Sky Scanner to draw. Probably not making a land drop here. Warmonger's a good draw, though. Alright, Warden is pretty good. It's got Vigilance. Thankfully, it doesn't have Reach. But the Vigilance is going to be trouble. I may need to double block that, or actually grasp it, block it, let them draw 2, and hope that, I mean, it's possible the 2 cards they draw are worse than what they would get from Warden. That's probably true. So that would mean if I want to play the Warmonger, let's see. So I can actually attack with these 2. Yeah. And they can draw 2 cards, but at least they kind of do it on my terms. And, I mean, obviously, I mean, we're going to get 4 right there, so then Gadrak can actually attack. So that alone is, like, definitely worth it. So we can go land Warmonger and leave up Grasp. It's actually nice for a few reasons. If they try to Hunter's Edge, we have the Grasp, so we can protect our Gadrak, which can then fly over top Warden. But they are going to be able to draw 2 cards here. Kind of don't want them to have all that mana untapped. They're ahead on life total, though, so I do think I need to go for it. I'm really happy they did that. That makes this much easier. That's really nice. So I can actually get in, and I can actually just grasp the Sage, which is really nice. Can also sack the Sapperling to Warmonger. We'll figure it out. So we can discard lands to the Sanctum. Target a spell or ability, so I don't want them to draw 1,000,000 cards. Let's just grasp Sage and get in with Gadrak. We're not going to sack. And we'll play the Sanctum. And I guess we'll hold on to lands in hand here. Havoc Jester would have been so nice in this deck with Gadrak and the treasures. Okay. Another Warden of the Woods, wow. I mean, we can take 5 this turn, I think. So I can kill this. So suppose we're on to chumping now. This is kind of another slow deck, so might make more sense again to do more of a different plan. Can I make them deck? I mean, technically, oh, it's a May though. Yeah, it's pretty good upside to that. Black Sanctum would be a nice draw. Salvo is a good draw too. Do I just let him draw 4 and take out the Wardens? Probably. I'm not in love with the idea, but I can't beat the Wardens right now. Wait, they draw. We could let them draw a ton from their deck here. I suppose we let it happen. If they want to draw that much of their deck, they can. Alright. So... Alright. So we'll let them draw 4. Can draw another 2. And then Sanctum again. Oops. Wait. Discard there. So how many did they draw total? They drew 2, 4, 6, 8 cards. They didn't even draw that time? That's surprising. I guess I could have ditched that land to make it so they weren't able to block there, but I don't know how we were gonna beat the I don't know how we beat the wardens there, so basically I had to let them draw 8 cards. You know, them drawing 8 cards is probably still more desirable than those wardens having hexproof, where I wouldn't have been able to do anything. So, yep, they had the edge. I mean, it's going to be pretty tough to beat them. I mean, it's going to be pretty tough to beat them, regardless. I just don't think that I could beat the... I don't think I could beat the wardens. Not loving the Sanctum in this match. I mean, the problem with the Sanctum in general are you really need multiples to make them pay off. Except the black one, but the red one's not looking that great here. They don't have a lot of 1/1s. Sky Scanner and Fierce Empath, not my favorite ones. So they have multiple Hunter's Edges. Guess that's good to know. Multiple Tempered Veterans. They have a pretty solid deck, actually. Selesnya Tokens is a great archetype, and they've got some really nice tools for it, actually. And then just some random Rain of Revelation splash for card advantage. So they got a nice little brew going here. We're definitely going to be altering some things. Once again, their late game plan is better than ours. It's kind of weird. We're like set up to beat aggro, but we've actually played two slower decks, so we have to convert. We're going to do the aggro plan again here. Get off the bad deal, double visionary, or double vision. Get the Magmut back in there, probably the Kerr, since the Kerr can trade with Warden. That's nice, actually. Sure Strike isn't bad at dealing with Warden either. Fetid Imps are actually very good for dealing with Warden. I can get off the Sanctum, but I don't need the red Shrine. Like, it's good with black, but black's good on its own. So maybe I can do the Sure Strike. Cauldron is not bad against Hunter's Edge. Gift is another actual way to deal with... Gift might actually be a better way than Sure Strike to deal with the Warden. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with this. I don't think we need the Swindler. Alright. I was happy to see Gadrak actually get online that game, but obviously was not enough. We'll keep this. It's a little bit slow. I wish it wasn't non-token creatures that died. I wonder if there's some way that they're worried about getting that abused. I don't know. I don't really want to trade an Immolator for a Glademaster, although getting 2 tokens wouldn't be bad. But it'd be nice to be able to threaten. I may need to. Yeah, I don't want to, but I'm gonna threaten like we have something. I don't know why they stopped at that step. I don't remember putting a stop there. I wish I could play something here. It'd make this a lot better for us, but we got nothing. So, I mean, we grasp it to get another artifact. I mean, we do have like Sky Scanner potential. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna get us unless we draw something here. I hate losing to this when we actually got tools in here to deal with it, but there's just nothing I can do. Yeah. So, got punished for the flood here. Maybe dropping the land count would have been wiser post getting rid of the Sanctum in hindsight. Especially if I'm trying to be more 2-drop centric, but I wish any of these cards had like sacrifice an artifact too, so I could actually get some more use out of these treasures, but we can't. So basically, we switched to aggro mode, did not turn on the aggro engines whatsoever, and just got smoked by some 6-drops. So probably my fault for keeping that hand. I shouldn't have kept that hand. And yeah, I shouldn't have kept that hand. Because I shouldn't have kept Gadrak in either. I think I should have cut the Gadrak, but hindsight's 20/20. So learn the lesson. We'll go to round 3 here. All right, round 3, we'll play first. Yeah, we can keep this. Pretty good hand. Probably still start off with the Sanctum. Although Hobble Fiend into Bolt Hound is pretty good. But we'll do Sanctum first anyway. Just get the clock going. Alright, well that's actually a nice draw once we get our 3rd land, of course. Knocky Ogre, alright. So, no land still. I guess we'll drop the... Guess we'll attack with the Hobble Fiend. And drop the Immolator. I wish I had a 3rd land here quite a bit. Riddle Form, okay. I guess we can block. Not doing much here. I guess if they have something they can activate that. Alright. Maybe I was supposed to attack. I'm not sure actually. Alright. So we got our 3rd land. We can actually do the Sanctum if we want. I think we do. So now we can nuke for 2. We can get in and draw, but then we can Bolt Hound. And I guess we're draining him for 2. Alright. So unsubstantiate maybe. Not having a land here is pretty harsh. So they can like bounce my Hobble Fiend and then... Oh, they can't. This doesn't untap though, right? No. Alright. Definitely getting in then. So it doesn't really matter if they bounce now. Wait, isn't it tapped though? I'm confused. Yeah, doesn't do anything. I think they must have forgot that it was tapped too. Alright, Larson this. Sure. So, Devotee. Probably just get in and do Burn Bright. To block the Bolt Hound, we can guess sacrifice, but no, they actually just die here now. Alright. So Sanctum's worked out that game, which is nice. They look a little aggressive. I mean, we basically, it's hard to say exactly how I feel about that game. They have a lot of card draw. I don't know if I like Bad Deal as much for that reason. It's still sweet with Double Vision though. The question is their late game plan better than ours? What did we see? Rousing Read with... I mean, they have the card draw, so yeah, Bad Deal will be worse. Doubling it with Double Vision is kind of the dream that we're trying to live, though. I don't know. I'm kind of on board with sticking with the Double Vision plan for this match and seeing if we can make it work. Kind of okay with that. We've got some early removal for Larcenist or blocker, trade, whatever. Yeah, this hand's acceptable. Salvo doesn't look great when you don't have any creatures, but that's okay. So, I mean, I'll grasp the Riddle Form if they have a means to activate it. I grasp that now. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna have to kill that. Alright, well, Augur helps. Huh. I suppose we play land and pass. So, probably kill the Tide Skimmer, I think. Since they'll get to draw here. Although, yeah, I think it still makes sense. We're gonna get back rain, or, well, Immolator brings us down to 6 mana. No. Guess we wait for the salvo. We're just a land away here. A land or a, I guess a shock maybe would do it too, because it would pump those. I'm still kind of okay with this. But if we go to game 3, I'm going to move it back to the aggro plan again. Which means we will have not wanted to play our long-term version of this deck for any of the matches, which is kind of funny. Alright, well, we did get salvo. We have salvo mana now, but we only get a dowser with it. And we really can't afford to take 8 next turn, so we may actually have to play the... Maybe we want them to tap out first, but then if they do, we might not have the mana to cast this, so... Alright. Alright, well, I can't do anything about that. So we'll take our prowess and our other thing and get in for 8. So I think I'm going to get off the Red Sanctum plan too. It just doesn't do enough in this match. I swear there probably are matches where this is good, but even just having 2 shrines doesn't seem to be quite good enough. So I think that's going to be Xaxes lethal. So we'll go to game 3. We're moving to the aggro plan again. Just sort of odd matchups. I was kind of expecting to go up against like one aggro deck, but not so much. So off Bad Deal, off Double Vision, off Gadrak, off Sanctum. In with Magmut, Kerr, Sure Strike, and probably Swindler. I mean, we can still do Gadrak. Yeah, I guess Gadrak blocks their Riddle Form and their other flying shenanigans. Okay. Alright. Oh, I probably could have... I keep forgetting to drop down to less lands. Which is kind of important. Because I feel like our deck is very susceptible to flood. Because we're low curve. But that's okay. That was weird. Why did I have to do that twice? I mean, at least Igneous Cur gives us some reward for flooding. A little bit. And Imp is kind of good in this match too. Alright. So... probably just shock that. Alright, that's actually kind of nice for us. Oh, but can't... Well, we're going to get, I guess not a 2-for-1 necessarily, but a pretty decent trade for us. 2 So swing the team. They block whatever. We'll sure strike. I'd rather have my imp, I think, than the sure strike. So get our first strike in, but then we're gonna play the Magma, so we're not gonna pump the Cur. Kind of surprised they would have preferred killing the imp than the Cur, since the Cur gets better with all the mana. So we want the 6th here. Why that one? Very strange. So now I can just pump Cur for just a ton of damage. So, can we just kill them? I think so. Yeah, they're dead now. So, now they just don't have a... There's nothing they can do. Oh, I guess they can do something. I mean, we get rid of their guy, though, which is still pretty important. And they have to deal with Magma right now and our Bolthound, because Magma can just ping them down. Yeah, they're dead. All right. So we ended up going 2-1 with the deck, which is nice. Really nice, because I was worried we were going to go 1-2. But the only problem I had with the deck is we never got to actually do anything cool with Double Vision. So I did want to try out the card. Commenter had pointed out to me I'm really undervaluing it. So obviously this is kind of a suboptimal deck for it, but I'm still happy enough to get 2-1 with the build. So we can look at our loot here. Radha. Guild Enforcer. See the truth. And another Radha. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.